Good morning, community. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning recipes, a little bit of everything. Nice and cool this morning. We are having some really nice, cool nights and cool mornings, but we are getting up sometimes up into the high 80s, low 90s, and this weekend it looks like it's going to be hot and humid, but they're saying that we have a chance of rain every day next week, so we're looking forward to that. Things are doing really good here on the garden. These cool nights and cool mornings are just helping out tremendously. Yesterday I spent the morning cleaning up my onions and getting them ready to store. They have completed their curing process and they turned out beautifully. I also was able to harvest some red potatoes, which we had last night, with some beautiful green beans. And we still have some left. And then we had a visitor in the chicken coop. And if you look real close here, you'll see where he was able to get a couple of eggs down him. Never like to go to the chicken coop and see something like this. Today we're going to be freeze drying some oregano and some thyme. Most likely some rosemary as well, and maybe some of our other medicinal herbs. I believe I'm going to have some green beans next week. Yeah, they're coming in good. So these are my German white potatoes. Yesterday I dehalmed them, and what that means is you cut off the stems, the greens and stuff, and then you leave it like this for about a week or two so that the potatoes under the ground start to harden off and the skin gets a little hard, so that whenever you go to pull them and cure them, it's going to be a little bit quicker process. So that's what I did yesterday with these. I have some beautiful Anaheim peppers coming in, and I'm going to go ahead and snip these off. I'm pinching all my little flowers that's trying to bud out on my holy basil and my other basils. And you want to be sure and do this so that your plants will get more bushy. If you let them go to seed, then they're going to stop, and you're just going to have a bunch of real pretty flowers and seed. And we'll let this do this at the end of this year, at the end of this growing season, so that we can harvest some of our holy basil. It's a very good tea for sleep and anxiety. So we always grow our holy basil. This is our Thai basil. We do the same thing, and we do it with our large leaf basil, which is also Genovese basil, which is your Italian basil. You want your plants to bush out. In order for that to do that, you need to go ahead and pinch off where it's trying to flower. Tomatoes are coming in beautifully. We have probably 3 or 4 sets per plant. So we really are hoping that we're going to have some beautiful tomatoes by Memorial Day weekend. That's certainly what we're shooting for. These plants are doing really well this year, but I will tell you that Greg has to devote quite a bit of his time out here pruning or stringing up, making sure that we're not getting attacked by the bacteria, the early blight, spider mites, because this high tunnel is ideal for spider mites, because it, especially on these humid days, they love the damp environment. So he has been spending a lot of time in here watching our plants and making sure that they stay healthy. His petunia baskets are looking really, really good. Now, he started these seeds on December the 22nd, so it takes quite a bit of time to get these things going, but you can see they are just beautiful baskets, and I can't wait to get some of these on my back porch. We also have some good old compost cooking here. Guys, compost is very expensive, so we try to do it ourselves. And you can see this one, let me turn this thing around, is doing really, really well. We're going to let it cook a little longer, turn it, and then we will have us some good compost, maybe to finish out this season and then go into the fall and have some for our spring garden next year. Here's more of his petunia baskets in the little high tunnel, and they're doing quite well. It's just a beautiful morning out. This coolness is when you have to get out, you need to inspect your plants early in the morning, see what's going on with them. Check the chickens, make sure there's not a snake out there. and get ready. Oh, I got a little hummingbird over there. And get ready for the day and get ready for what may be coming in the week. So when we have a lot of rain and a lot of dampness, it's real easy for those tomatoes, even in the high tunnel, to get diseased. So you need to watch that. And if your tomatoes are outside, it's even more of a chance for them to get diseased because that dampness really sits on those leaves and causes that bacterial early blight. Not so bad in the big high tunnel, however, we still do have to fight disease, and spider mites seem to be the number one thing that gets us in that big high tunnel. It's happened every year. We get a couple of plants, and it's because it's not with the cloudy skies and stuff that we're having early in the spring. It's not getting some proper sunlight, which causes really good photosynthesis and helps it to uptake the things that Greg feeds them. And so we have to watch that. And right now we're in mid-May. I'm thinking that we're probably going to have some tomatoes at least until the 1st of July, maybe mid-July. So we do sell those here on the property for people in our area, but we also can a bunch. I make salsa, and then we make sauce, and then we make just diced tomatoes. And we're really counting on the harvest to stock up our pantry, especially with green beans and stuff. I really went heavy on the green bean planting this year. In fact, I'm going to plant more this morning. My initial planting of these was a couple of weeks ago, I think, and you can see they're coming up. Now, these are the contender green beans because they seem to do well in heat. And here in Texas, we are fixing to hit that. Even though we've been having some mild nights and mild mornings, we're going to hit that heat at one point. And so we wanted to go ahead and grow something that we felt like was going to survive through the heat. So what I did is I've planted in these rows, you can see. And now that I see where they've germinated and where they've come up, I can go in and fill in the gaps. And I can go right down the middle here and get a couple of more rows in. And this is also going to be some succession planting. So we'll be able to harvest at different times. Green beans are part of the Dirty Dozen, and what that means is that they are a highly, if you buy green beans in the market and stuff, most likely, unless they're organic, and even sometimes then, they have quite a bit of insecticide and chemicals on them. So it's really important that we grow a lot of green beans, enough to try to last us throughout the year, and can them up. Now, I do can them in quart sizes because there's 3 of us, and a pint is simply not enough for 3 people. So I have quite a few quarts that I did last year, and yesterday we ate ones that I canned up in 2023. I added them with those potatoes and some of our onions, and they turned out really, really fantastic. So if you can grow bush beans or pole beans, I just never have success with pole beans here. I think it's because of the wind, and I think it's because of the heat. I've tried several times. I've tried several years. I tried last year. I tried the year before that. Tried the year before that. And I just do not have success with pole beans. We have much better success with bush beans, which are low to the ground, like you saw a while ago when I was showing you some of those green beans. And we harvest probably about 3 times off of those plants. A lot of people just pull the plants after the first round and pick off the beans and start all over. I let them stay in the ground for about 3 pickings, and so we should be finished with those probably. Today is May 16th. Probably we'll get our last pick in maybe the first week of June, and I'm going to turn around and replant those contender beans up in that spot as well, so that we can keep getting good harvest on green beans. These are purple hull peas. They are coming up wonderfully. I can't wait for these to start going. These are heat-loving plants, so I'm hoping that we can get a good harvest off of these. Now, these take a little bit longer than your bush beans, but I have them here, and I have them here next to my cucumbers. I'm sorry, next to my cantaloupe, because they seem to do really well as companion plants. So we're going to try to get us some cantaloupes this year, and over there is some of my patty pan squash and cucumbers. I have a beautiful catnip plant here next to my bush beans. This is a good companion plant for your bush beans, guys. It's fixing to bud out its flowers, and it's going to bring in some pollinators. And then I have some blueberry cherry tomatoes here. These are all good companion plants. And catnip is just really not for cats, folks. Catnip is also good for anxiety and a tea. I got some medicinal tea books that Greg got me for Christmas, and I'm going to be going over what I want to start making as we're able to harvest this and freeze dry it. So when he got me those books, I went through them all and found out what it is I wanted to make throughout the year, and everything that I needed to make certain teas and certain tinctures. We went ahead and planted this year and started seeds. So we were heavy on the medicinals. I'm seeing numerous posts from some gardening forums that I belong to about the pill bugs. The pill bugs are a very strange situation to us. About 4 years ago, you may recall, if you've been watching us for a while, and if you have, thank you, you know that we got a pill bug infestation, and they just about took out all of our tomato plants. And we are seeing now pill bugs everywhere. They are in the gravel. When Greg moved the smoker yesterday, he said they were all over the tire. We are constantly battling pill bugs, and we're not the only ones. We belong to a group that's a local gardening group here, and I am seeing post after post after post about pill bugs and how they're destroying people's property, people's plants. And the only thing that we have found that works is the slug away, and so we use that, but not quite understanding what has happened with the pill bug population here in Texas. And I know a lot of others are not quite understanding what's going on with that as well. There are some other insecticides that you can use, guys, and we won't use anything that is going to affect our fruit. So that's what we choose to use. There are other things that people use, but that's what we use is the slug away. So yeah, it's just really a bizarre situation about the pill bugs here in Texas. We are always battling something here in Texas, whether it's too much rain or drought or pill bugs, which I see right there, some kind of insect damage. So gardening is not for the faint of heart, but you know, guys, we got to make it count, and we got to do the best we can and grow what we can and what we can and preserve what we can. And there's so many different ways to preserve what you grow. You can you can dehydrate, you can freeze dry, you can chop it up and freeze, vacuum seal it. So we got to make it count this year. So there's lots to do today. Got to do a little bit of gardening, and then I got to take Pop to the grocery store and get some errands run. Got to plant that green bean bed up there with some more of those contender beans. And boy, there's always something to do. If you're new to the channel, we ask that you hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. We love each and every one of you and hope that you have a fantastic weekend. And we hope that you all had a wonderful Mother's Day last weekend. And stay tuned this week. We'll let you know if any severe weather rolls through. But right now, it's smooth sailing. And I almost hate to say that because I know many of you are in a drought and you're dry and there's no rain. And then I know there's severe weather up to the north of us. And, you know, every year I hold my breath this time of year, wondering what we're going to get. And so far this year, it looks like we're doing pretty good. And it looks like we are going to go into an El Nino year, probably toward the middle of the summer. I think that we're kind of already easing in it because I don't recall us having this much rain and these cool temperatures like we're getting. However, this just may be a neutral neutral weather pattern, which we very rarely see anymore. We're either in La Nina or El Nino. So stay tuned, guys. Keep me posted on your gardening and let me know what you all are growing. Let me know where you are at and where you're watching us from. I know a lot of you are from my area, but I'm just interested to know where some of you are and if you've started your gardening, when you started your gardening, or when you're going to start your gardening and what you're planting this year. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and we will see you soon.